Okay, now for the fun part. In Lab 3, I want to talk about the importance of providing a useStyleScopeId, because it's just as important as the useID when we added that. So let's take a look at this. In this lab, there are components that rely upon their parent components hosting or providing a set of known styles, animations, whatever else, which is very easy now with what we just discussed in the first video. So let me show what I mean by that. In Lab 3, we are using a component called known styles host. In known styles host, we're using the shake component again and the bounce component again, written by two different team members, and also a known styles consumer, which is both within shake and within the root of this component. The known style consumer, actually let me show you the style here. So first of all, within the known styles host, there's a animation called wobble, and the class that knows how to wobble something. Within styles consumer, it also has a wobble. In the code for this, ideally, and this is what I implemented in another rendering stack, did this, is you can not only use the wobble within this component, you can also use the wobble in the parent because it's known, it's expected. So imagine you're building a component library that knows some things about the environment it's living in. You could also walk up 2 levels, again, if it's a known world in which this subcomponent is being built. Again, very typical. I also have a notion of a pinned scope context, but I'll come back to that another day. And of course, naturally, this here with this kind of syntax, it makes sense to provide something like that. But I'm not suggesting that we build this like I've done this now. All we need to do is provide a style scope ID, and all the rest of any kind of variation, whether it's this one or another variation, can be built by the developer for what's required for that environment. So this is a very, very powerful piece of information, and I believe it's just as powerful as the useID, which we added to the stack, to the core so far. So I'm happy to talk about this more, but with this, you can see there's an inheritance that's made possible simply by providing the locally scoped ID of the current component. So we'll talk more about this another time.